Hey there and welcome back, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. I certainly am. It's warm as hell right now here in Alaska. It feels like spring. But yeah, I bought a B5 S4. This is my second B5 S4 and my third Audi. Before we go for the drive, I just want to talk about why I bought this car and what my plans are with this car. So why did I buy this car? Recently I made a really hard decision and sold my childhood dream car, my beloved STI. And I need a car to get from A to B now, and this is not replacing my STI. This is simply a daily for me to tinker with and to have a little bit of fun with. The next car that is replacing my STI is not going to be my daily driver. It's going to be a pure weekend toy, but that's going to take time. It's going to be a few months till it gets here, so we have this for now. I knew my new daily had to be an Audi. My last daily was an Audi as well. It was an S6, and I missed that car so much, man. I put a lot of hard work into it. I loved it. As soon as I sold it, I regretted it immensely. So I knew the replacement had to be another Audi. And well, S6s are rare, and I sold maybe like 1 out of 3 in the state. So I was like, the next best thing in my opinion is a B5 S4. It's manual, it's twin turbo, it's fun. I've owned one before, that was a nightmare. So we're rolling the dice. Hopefully round 2 is gonna be better. It already has. But this car is amazing because I live in Alaska. It has quattro all-wheel drive. I love the style on it. It feels like old money. The interior works. It's luxurious. It's classy. It smells vintage. It looks vintage. I love it. So it actually took 2 months to get this car. It took a lot of negotiation, but the seller was selling it for what I thought was too high. And I was like trying to look for a deal, so it took 2 months to finally get that deal, but we finally reached a price we could both agree on. And me and my girlfriend flew like up to Fairbanks, which is quite a whiles away from here in Anchorage, and bought it and drove it back, made a weekend out of it. So it was a fun adventure. This is completely bone stock, dude. Stock exhaust, stock springs, everything is completely stock on this car. It has 134,000 miles, so nothing too crazy. So that's enough yapping outside of the car. Let's do the rest of our yapping inside whilst we're driving. This thing sounds so boring on startup. It's so quiet. Oh my gosh, it's so quiet, but check this out. So I was actually wrong. It's not 134, it's 138 damn near, but still not too bad. No check engine light. The LCD screen right here is cooked, but in every Audi they're cooked from this generation. If you know, you know. But anyways, let's put our GoPro on and go for a drive. So I will say this car is a lot of fun in the snow. Shocker, right? So I've actually owned this car for a month now, and this car's been interesting. I've loved it, but I've also found some disappointing aspects to it. This quattro system's amazing. That's definitely not one of the negatives. But the Audi understeer in this car is insane. And I'm starting to understand it. It's more quirky than it is really annoying, because what are you expecting from buying an Audi? But the engine is just so far over the front axle. It's insane, dude. Like, you really feel it here. It's like the opposite of a 911, exact opposite. The handling's great. The suspension is tired, very tired, so I'm planning on dealing with that soon. But the biggest crime of all is this. Nothing, no sound, wind. That is what we're getting in the cabin, wind. Now close this. Love the sunroof, but I will close it for now so you guys can hear me better. This thing does not make a whole lot of sounds, man. Really, really disappointing. I had a full system, downpipe, cat pack, all that fun stuff on my STI, and intake, so that thing just screamed, man. It was so much fun. So to step into this, with not 1 but 2 turbos, it's just so quiet. It's, again, stock exhaust, but I'm like, damn, dude, like, was it regulations really that bad back then too in 01? I don't know, but anyways, we're gonna address that in the next video, because one of the most important things to me as a driver is actually having good sound. That means a lot to me, and this thing does not have that. So I will say off the bat though, this transmission does not like to be rushed. The clutch is fine, it's just the transmission. This is definitely a grand tourer car. Very nice, sporty, comfortable, grand touring car. Definitely not a sports car. I did get initially disappointed because it's just not as fun as my STI, but then I keep reminding myself, this is not replacing the STI. This is simply a daily to get A to B. Let's turn that on. They're two very different cars. They're both turbocharged, they're both all-wheel drive, and they're both manual, but they're fundamentally like two very different cars. So, is a B5 stock S4 quick? Let's find out. No. It's not quick at all. I think the 0 to 60 is like 6 point something. I don't know, but this car is not quick. It feel like you can feel the torque. So the horsepower is 250, and I think the torque is also 250. This thing does not feel very quick. It's heavy. I've already done like a few weight reduction things, like changing out the 6 CD players out in the back, taking out the toolkit, spare tire, all that fun stuff, trying to reduce the weight a little bit, because this thing is heavy and 250 horsepower is not enough to move all this weight. But again, this isn't my STI. I keep comparing it to my STI, and that's why I'm getting disappointed with the car, but it's not supposed to be as fun as the STI. This is supposed to be my daily, not replacing the STI. I have to keep telling myself that. If you're looking for, if you're cross shopping between an STI and this guy and S4, if you want fun, go with the STI. But if you want comfortable, a more luxurious feeling, obviously go with this. Like, the sound system in this car is way better than the Subaru. The ride quality is better. Everything's better except the things that make a car fun. This transmission also doesn't really like to be rushed, I have found. I've tried to drive this car hard, and I don't know, I'm driving with the clutch just fine. The clutch is fine. It's just the transmission that doesn't feel like it wants to be rushed. Like, the gears are super long. Like, when I go to third, like, it's fully extend. When I go to fourth, fully cock back. And I will say, the biggest crime of all is the damn sound. You cannot hear this thing. I know it can sound good. I need to make this thing sound good, and the next video we're going to be addressing the sound. Believe me that. But my other plans for this car is exhaust, coilovers, because I want to lower it, and the suspension is a bit tired. It's comfortable, but it's a bit tired. You kind of feel in the corners. It's just a little bouncy for my liking. I'm all about corners, man. Straight line speed really doesn't matter that much to me. I'm really about corners. And by the way, this thing's not like super slow, you know. It feels quicker than it is, so like that's definitely a plus, you know. It's like, it's not boring, I should say that. It's not boring. It's just 50 more horsepower would transform this car, in my opinion. Some of the real positives about this car has truly just been this cabin. I just enjoy spending time in this thing. The Bose system is not the greatest, but it's not the worst, you know. It's very mid, which is good enough for me right now. A head unit would be really cool, really update this interior, but the heated seats work fantastic. The sunroof is a must-have in a daily for me. Everything in here works as it should, which is really nice and very refreshing for German slash, you know, Audi from this era, you know. So this car is very comfortable, and it's just such a great daily because it looks classy, it's subtle, everything works, you know. What more do you want than heated seats, you know, working climate, a manual, sunroof? Not really much, in my opinion. By the way, heel toe is not happening in this car either. Like, the brake pedal is so off-centered from the gas pedal, which I don't know if that, like, I'm totally like being conspiracy here, but I wonder if that has something to do with the old Quattros that used to like accelerate on their own, but it turns out people were just pressing the gas pedal instead of the brake pedal. So I wonder if this is a consequence of that. But like, it's so oddly placed. Like the brake is up here and the gas is to the right down here. So it's like you have to come to a complete stop if you're trying to heel, you know, your gas. So that's not happening in this car. Again, Grand Tour, not a sports car. The get up and go is really around 4,000 RPMs. Then the turbos start to wake up. Gear ratios are long too, man. These gear ratios are freaking long. That front end is so heavy. You really gotta learn how to turn in earlier than you think so. So the trick I have found, again, I'm no pro, this is just me kind of yapping about what's worked for me so far, is corners like that, if you really want this thing to turn in, you really want to think about turning like a second earlier than you really normally would. Also pressing the brake earlier than you would, because it's gonna understeer. If you're driving this thing fun, if you're driving it hard, it's gonna understeer. It's just something that's gonna happen. So you kind of counteract that by doing inputs a little early. So far, that's kind of what's been working for me. That's how I've been having fun in this car. But what I really like to happen, and what I think is the best time in an Audi, is when there's actually snow on the ground. It is February in Alaska, and this is the snow. Like, we don't even have any berms. It snowed like, I can count like, I think 7 times in February. That's insane. Absolutely insane, dude. So it's like Quattro season has not been slapping this year, dude. It's like I want to go sideways so bad, but it's like the conditions are just so whack. Like up there, it felt like spring. Like I was comfortable outside. Like I had no issue being outside, and the roads are reflecting that. So whilst we're at this light, I think this is a great time to talk about reliability. B5S4, notorious with going through turbos. It is on stock KO3s, like previously mentioned. The stock KO3s tend to go out around this mileage, so I'm a little freaked out, but not that freaked out. Not as freaked out as I think I should be. And the only reason I say that is like this thing came with a fat stack of service records. I told myself after my first B5 experience that I'd never buy another one unless I bought a booklet this big of maintenance records. And an older gentleman owned this car, and an older gentleman before him owned this car. So I trust it, you know. I've heard these cars going, you know, to 600,000 miles, 300,000 miles on the original KO3s, you know. It's all about maintenance and how well you take care of this car. And I have a good history of, you know, being soft on my cars and taking it easy, and I've never had a serious issue in any of my old cars, so I'm feeling pretty confident. I don't think I'm gonna tune this car. I say that now, but an extra 50 horsepower from like a chip tune would be really nice. I'm not pursuing it, but if it happens, it happens. Mostly focused on making this thing look really good, you know, really, really good. So we got some coilovers coming eventually. Got some wheels, I'm not gonna spoil that either, but, and also a paint job. You know, I'm thinking about getting this thing painted. My family owns a auto body shop, so I usually paint all my cars for a pretty good family discount, so very fortunate in that manner. That was the perfect day to go for that drive. Even though I am enjoying the sun and like the warmth right now, I would love for it to snow. I can't believe I'm saying that because I hate winter, but I haven't gone sideways in this car, so we need some snow. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm excited to see what we do with this car. Like I said, wheels, coilovers, and fixing our quiet ass EV sounding engine, I think are my priority. I'm thinking about painting it, respraying it as well. There's a few scratches because 2 owners ago, the dude used to clean the thing off with a shovel, scrape all the ice off, man. So, I mean, there's gouges everywhere on the car, but anyways, that's the plan. So hopefully, you guys are excited for that. I am, so we'll see what happens. Kind of just killing time until the next car comes, that fills this spot over here. That I know will be an excellent time. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Later.